Hello and welcome to H2OMICS, the Calsense podcast that gives you insight into the smart irrigation and sustainability world. I'm Carolina Alban Stoughton. The Irrigation Association is the leading membership organization in the irrigation industry, which includes manufacturers, distributors, consultants, and more. Founded in 1949, the Irrigation Association has been promoting efficient irrigation technologies, products, and services since then, and has been committed to educating the public on good water management practices. Our guest today is the Irrigation Association CEO, Natasha Rankin. Natasha has led the organization since January of 2022, bringing more than 25 years of professional experience to the organization, including 9 years in chief executive roles. Growing up in the agriculturally fertile area of Willamette Valley in Oregon, Rankin saw firsthand the importance of smart water management. Natasha, welcome to H2OMICS. It's so great to have you.
Hi, Carolina. I appreciate your invitation and the chance to join you and H2OMICS today.
Great. We are very excited to have you. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got to the Irrigation Association? What interested you the most about the organization itself and the industry in general?
Well, the mission and work of the Irrigation Association is one that strongly resonates with me, but it's not necessarily something that many people see when they look at my resume. As you mentioned, I grew up in Oregon, and my extended family was involved in nurseries, farming, and ranching. And so wise water management, sustainability, and the impact that they had on our businesses, on our communities, and us individually, these were topics of conversation that around our dinner table from my earliest memory. I also happen to have a homestead in Virginia that's located in the heart of wine country. And so smart irrigation and sustainability, I know, are absolutely keys to my neighbors and my community's growth and health. And so when this opportunity came up at the Irrigation Association, I thought to myself, what an amazing mission, what incredible professionals, and the impact and value that they bring is something I'm aware of. And I really wanted others to be able to gain that awareness and have the deep appreciation that I do for irrigation, for the professionals and for the companies that are dedicated to smart water use and management.
Yeah, I'm new to the industry, and I've been definitely fascinated with the work you guys do. It's so great to have an organization that you can rely on to help educate others on what smart water management practices are. So I'm particularly very excited about having participated in your events. This is an industry, I was talking about myself as a woman and you as a woman. This is an industry with a very small presence of women. So it is very exciting to see you as the head of IA. Can you share some insight as to why this is and what steps the IA is taking to increase that participation and promote leadership roles for women in the industry?
Well, Carolina, I have to say I'm already thrilled that you've been a convert to understanding the value of irrigation. And what you've just shared is something that I found when I've been going out and talking, not to those in the industry, but outside, is once people understand the role of irrigation and irrigated water, there is this incredible, that awareness starts to make people look around at their own businesses, their own communities, their own property really differently. And I think that when you're talking about the small presence of women in irrigation, you're correct. The official numbers are that less than 10% of irrigation professionals are women. But what we're also seeing is that there is a uptick in women who are deeply engaged in and deeply interested in the irrigation, soil health, environment, the environment, and the career opportunities for women within irrigation are a multitude. We are an industry that draws heavily from those in a STEM position, as well as or STEM studies or STEM background. But there are also opportunities for people who enjoy being out in nature and making a difference in global health and global food security. And these are all areas of interest that appeal to everyone, including women. And I think that that's really reflected in a program that the IA offers to a scholarship program. And this year, we had 18 scholarship recipients, and 9 of them were women. And these were primarily young women that are looking to enter into an irrigation career, and their interest is being captured in ways for them to take their passion for sustainability, their passion for smart irrigation, and turn it into a long career. In fact, we have as well, our board of directors is out of 15 individuals. We have 3, including 2 that are on our executive committee. Ingi Biskoner is our president-elect of the Irrigation Association, and Julie Bouchel is our treasurer. And in addition, we also have Katie Powell, who's with Monroe Pumps. These are women who have a background in landscape, agriculture, soil health, technology, all of whom may have come to irrigation through their different pathways, and all of whom are now creating new opportunities and new ways of looking at advancement and growth for their careers and serving as leaders leaders for the organization and for the industry. I would be also remiss if I didn't share that there are quite a few of our irrigation manufacturers and others, dealers and distributors who have well-regarded programs for women in irrigation that they've built into their own businesses in order to attract and retain talent. It's a smart business move, and I'm very encouraged by the commitment that I'm seeing from the industry and from the business leaders to recognize that being able to draw people from all across the country, really all across the world, that there are women who would be deeply interested because of their passion and their experience, who would both make contributions and gain a wealth of experience and a great career path if they chose an irrigation company.
Yeah, I'm encouraged too, because when I first joined, I really wasn't aware of the makeup on the industry or what career paths were available. Mm-hmm. And when I participated at the irrigation show last year, mm-hmm. and we had that Women in Irrigation breakfast.
Yes.
It was just such great energy in the room. And also just being able to sit down with women who were doing their PhDs, there were engineers, exactly. There were, and actually one of them who sat at my table was from Peru. I'm originally from Peru as well. And that was great. Yeah. You mentioned the world, you mentioned the global, and just to see people from different countries just being interested in it. I'm also encouraged, I have to say. But what other things can we do to promote the industry to women and to make it more accessible to them?
I think when we're looking at the growth of any industry or any business, it is recognizing, where you may have inadvertently created challenges in entering into the business. we all know that networking is absolutely essential. And I'd say the greatest opportunity is your own employees. I think that's what I'm seeing from a lot of the irrigation companies themselves is recognizing that word of mouth matters, being able to network, and whether it's through through an alma mater or your own community is being able to network, and also being able to demonstrate that you have women as leaders in your company. We're the three individuals I mentioned, Ingi, Julie, and Katie. These are presidents and founders of companies. They are vice presidents. They are the CEO. Kim Sentovich, you mentioned the Women in Irrigation Breakfast. She's the CEO of Reikio, and these are women who are serving in leadership roles and serve as wonderful inspiration and examples of ways for women to advance within the industry. That you can kind of come in anywhere and advance through different career pathways.
Yeah, no, I definitely have to say I do see obviously that commitment in my company, and it's great to see, and it's great to have spaces like you said, networking spaces, as you mentioned, such as that Women in Irrigation Breakfast. So I'm very excited for these upcoming Women in Irrigation Breakfast, and I'm excited to probably see it grow with the years for sure.
Same here.
So, of course, I could go on this topic, but of course, this is just one part of the work you do. What are IA's top priorities in general, and specifically for 2023?
2023 is a great year for us, and it's might be a little early to say that, but I feel confident in saying that, because we are recognizing that while we have been very effective at talking about the value and the impact of irrigation, we're really effective at talking about it amongst ourselves. But what we have maybe not been as effective at is ensuring that those outside the industry also share that same understanding of the impact and value. And we are focused on, for this year, ensuring that we're looking at ways that we can help increase the end user adoption of efficient irrigation products. We are looking at and executing on ways that we can ensure that those who are seeking out solutions for smart irrigation seek out irrigation professionals. And we are also looking to ensure that when policymakers, when decision makers, whether they are on Capitol Hill or at a water district board meeting, that they have the people, the professional irrigators at the table to help inform those decisions, because best intentions don't always translate into the greatest outcomes when it comes to smart irrigation and water use and management. And we know that if you have the professionals at the table where those decisions are being made, that you're going to have better outcomes.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think that's very, very important, especially now that we, at least here on the West and some other parts of the country as well, going through, big droughts, and, decision making is urgent, but it needs to be, like you say, informed. So very much in agreement with you on that, and very grateful that you guys are, doing that work. It's
well,
so
you bring up the drought, the impact on many areas of the country. And, we're aware that this is not just a critical issue, but we also are aware it's a local issue and it's a systemic issue. And so, when in bringing up why this is so important to the value, the impact, and the elevated impact and value of irrigation, this is work that can't just be done on Capitol Hill. We are very engaged in federal policy, but what we would like to do is be able to create champions on the local level, those who understand who understand the need for smart irrigation, and the local knowledge to help translate that into impactful solutions on that local level. It is something that we know that ultimately at the end of the day, there's going to need to be that collaboration between irrigators, the water boards, or the water districts, those in the community, and business owners as well, and the growers, to be able to come up with these solutions. And it's really exciting to see that the IA can be a facilitator, a collaborator, and help create champions on all of these different levels, whether it's federal, state, or local.
And since we're on this topic, I'd like to ask you specifically. I was reading the late fall 2022 issue of Irrigation and Lighting, your organization's publication, which is a great. That was a great issue, by the way. All issues are great. You. This one I very much liked because it had the green industry outlook. So people should definitely go and grab that issue or look it up online, because it has such great information. But I was glad to find out about the letter I sent to the U.S. Department of the Interior and the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation, highlighting the importance of the implementation of the Inflation Reduction Act's provisions to fight the drought. Tell us a little bit more about that letter and whether we will see more of these types of advocacy and policy shaping efforts from IA.
You will see more of this. And regarding this specific letter, what we saw is we had this legislation passed. And what we wanted to ensure, though, is that what came out of it in terms of the drought mitigation provisions, that they weren't lost. That was really the key part of this. Is we wanted our areas of focus to be prioritized and implemented. We are aware that, frankly, that the ideas on paper don't always translate into ideas on the ground. And, this is something that we want there to be a focus, not just on the implementation, but ultimately the complete adoption of and the integration of smart and efficient irrigation, because we know that this can be part of the solution when it comes to the drought. But if the tools are not being and the resources aren't being prioritized, it's kind of like, if the tree falls in the wood and doesn't make any sound, does it really make a sound? And that's with this, with the Inflation Reduction Act. Again, we wanted to ensure that what was on paper got translated into actual actions on the local level. And yes, I think you are going to see more of this advocacy. We're focusing on, for this coming year, we are returning to a in-person fly-in in Washington, D.C., so that we are going to be able to advocate not just on the issues around the drought and the impact really across the country, keeping in mind it isn't just the Southwest, but you're also seeing issues that are coming up in New England and other parts of the country. But we're also focusing on the 2023 Farm Bill. Every 5 years, it's up for negotiation and passage, and there are quite a number of provisions within this Farm Bill that are impactful not just to the agriculture, the irrigation agriculture sector of the industry, but are also key for landscape, because of especially around the technology. There are so many advancements that are taking place within irrigation in the use of technology, software and hardware, and that the ability to throughout the country have the access to the high-speed internet is considered now a key part of being able to do business, being able to offer your services. And another area I think you're going to see a lot of action from the IA is on labor issues, specifically with the H2B. We're aware that while the labor situation is kind of always in flux, we're aware that this is an industry that strongly relies on the H2B visa program in order to meet the demand for this promotion of smart irrigation. And when you're creating awareness and hopefully increasing demand for these tools, these resources, this technology, these systems, when you don't have the people who can install, maintain, design, all of that, it really inhibits growth.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you mentioned the labor angle here, because it's something that I don't think it gets spoken about very much, and the impact that a smart irrigation technology can, the positive impact that can have, mitigating those challenges when it comes to labor shortages.
Exactly.
So let's now talk about the IA's new product contest. Calsense actually won the Silver Award in 2022 for its unique solution, Irrigation Management as a Service. So what are the things that judges are looking for in companies and organizations that are interested in applying? If you could perhaps use, IMAS, Irrigation Management as a Service, as an example. And, and also last year, there was a video component to the contest that was very exciting. Will it be the case this year? And, what are the kinds of products and services that have, best chance of winning, just so people can start prepping up and getting those, getting their nominations and their videos planned?
I love the seeking of inside knowledge. What I can share with you, I love it. What I can share with you is, hopefully this helps everyone, is my role within this is I'm not a judge, but the role of the role of the IA in this is really to attract as many of those innovative quality programs and systems and services to the table to be judged. And so while I don't necessarily have any quick tips, the top 10 ways to get an award, what I can share with you is the very unique entry that Calsense had, and the fact that you focused on a service, with it being the irrigation management as a service. That I think was what really stuck out to the judges. The reality is that there are quite a number of incredible, innovative, and valuable products out there, and so I know those are always a focus. And I think with this year and your entry, the fact that it was addressing a barrier that we have found around ultimately the long-term adoption of smart irrigation solutions is what resonated. Thinking about some of the challenges of getting, increasing awareness outside of the industry around smart irrigation, a lot of it comes down to that long-term adoption. It's one thing to design and install, and it's another to provide the support needed for that long-term, for the long-term use and success. And I think that that's really what resonated as a solution for and as a winner for the new product contest.
Yeah, I think we obviously are very proud of being able to come up with these, unique solution that addresses the urgent challenges, obviously climate change, that labor shortages, and also, making it more accessible when it comes to paying for it.
And you brought up the virtual component. I think that, we loved about the virtual component is the fact that, we do have the, we do have the information, we do have the videos. And this year, what we are excited about is being able to showcase the winners on, in our innovation hub at our 2023 Irrigation Show and Education Week. So there is, we are looking to also be a connector of these contest winners, to share the news of this innovation, of these innovations, and this recognition of excellence with those who are at the show, even in more depth and digitally as well.
Yeah, I think that's a great component. I think it's an opportunity also for people to really come up with, the highlights, like bullet point, like put it visually and in a way that's easier for audiences to digest. I think that was a great opportunity. At least I know it was for sure for us. Can you share more about other plans that IA has for the future and specifically for this year?
Sure. So we, as I mentioned, the key area, critical area for us is really focusing on elevating that impact and value of the industry to those who are outside of the industry, those who maybe don't yet have that awareness of the, the role that irrigation plays in our communities and in having those thriving, healthy communities, and even, with global food security. And the other two areas that we are really committed to are ensuring that there is a professional expert workforce. We are looking to increase the number of irrigation professionals. We spoke earlier about ensuring that there's a career pathways for women and for other communities that maybe haven't always been approached about these different careers in irrigation. And we are also looking to ensure that we continue our scholarships and we continue our partnerships with those in places of education, higher education, as well as in high school, so that we are in a position to demonstrate that irrigation can be part of anyone's future when it comes to a career and to being part of a vibrant workforce. The other thing that we're focused on is growing our industry. And the reason I bring that up is that one of the going back to that elevated impact and value is the irrigation. Our industry is not always seen as an industry. It is not seen as it's seen as a subset of others. And so we are very much aware that, that irrigation, especially on the landscape sector, we know that having that those in the green industry, no matter where they are, no matter what profession or industry, that anyone in the green industry really needs to have information, knowledge that helps them be more on irrigation, that helps them be more effective, no matter where they are and where they're serving in a career or a profession in the green industry, because it is that understanding of the systems of smart technology, the smart water management and use, the technology, and how irrigation really plays a role in our communities, our businesses, our economic health. It's incredibly important for us to be. It's important for us to be sharing that story beyond those who know it, who are internal, who are kind of already converts.
It's so great that you mentioned high school, like involving kids in high school already being in tune with irrigation. And I do think that younger generations, the upcoming generation of professionals are more in tune with the needs of creating a sustainable future on our planet. And I think they are more receptive to perhaps, creating solutions for this industry and anything that can help us with, climate crisis.
And you bring up a great point about high school. And I don't know about you, but I have a daughter who's recently out of high school. And what I know, having spent time with her friends, and also being that age at one point, you tend to gravitate towards what you know. And the power of being able to share with kids in high school or even younger, and their parents, the role that irrigation plays in our communities and in our security, and is being able to get them to see that early on helps open up their eyes to irrigation as a career opportunity, or a career option. We tend to mimic what we see. And so the more we're able to get out there and create that awareness and provide the knowledge and education and experience, even, the more likely we can start early and bring people in at times when we can capture that passion for sustainability and technology or math or economics even. This is really an industry that provides a pathway for a lot of different areas of interest. But ultimately, passion is one that I know is celebrated within the industry, and is something that we'd love to create passionate irrigators.
Yes. So in your opinion, what does the future of the irrigation industry look like?
Well, overall, I think that there is simply going to be more increased recognition of the role that irrigation, irrigated water, professional irrigators, the role that they play in our environment, our economy, and our well-being. We are facing as a nation, as a globe, some really critical issues around global food security and around health and recreation, where irrigation is part of the solution. We are part of water is a majority of what this globe is made up of, and we know that irrigation has a part of the solution for some of the challenges that we're facing. And I think that there is simply going to be more of a recognition of that, and as evidenced by having people with this knowledge at the table when decisions are made about water use or water restrictions, when questions are brought up about labor issues, or when we're talking about globally, when we're talking about security, health and security. And I think that is overall what you're going to see more of.
Well, I'm for sure very excited about this future as people start learning more about the importance of the industry. Natasha, it's been a pleasure to have you on our podcast, and we are already looking forward to the IA show in San Antonio, Texas in November this year. So thank you for being here and for all you do for our industry.
Carolina, thank you for the opportunity, and thanks you to Calsense and H2OMICS as well.
Thanks very much. That was Natasha Rankin, CEO of the Irrigation Association, which is based out of Fairfax, Virginia. Thanks for listening to today's episode. If you'd like to listen to other episodes, visit calsense.com/podcast or search for H2OMICS on your favorite podcast platform. Until next time, I'm Carolina Alban Stoughton.